Welcome to Classic Clashes down here at Beasley Reserve in Leeming. My name is Ward Harris, and we've got a sensational clash down here between the Bullcreek Leeming side and the Bassendean side. Heard a B grade round 13 action, and conditions looking a little bit overcast, but I'll tell you what, we are set up for an absolutely sensational day of football now. Classic Clashes, proudly sponsored by our group there of Premium Grains, Great Southern Fuels, Retrovision, Afgri, Blue Diamond Machinery, Lobster Shack, Filming Footy, and Dart Fish. And a massive shout out and a thank you to all those sponsors that help us each and every week as the Bassendean side enter the field now. And Bassendean, look, it hasn't been the greatest season for them thus far, as we see the ladder sitting at 10th in last place. Only the one win thus far. And look, it's been a tough year for them as we see a couple of the boys chaired off there in the reserves game. We've got a 250th and two 250ths today, I should say. And look, congratulations there to Stevie Maguire and Gary Carruthers. So look, been really good for those boys there. Great to see them getting chaired off. And we'll have an opportunity to sit down with them a little bit later today. As I mentioned, my name's Ward Harris, and joined in the commentary box to start with the president from the Bullcreek Leeming side in Simon Thomas. And look, Simon, we've got papers already going everywhere. It's pretty breezy out there today, but look, mate, how are you going?
Yeah, going well. Thank you very much for having me on.
Look, mate, an absolute pleasure. And look, yeah, conditions a bit colder. I'll tell you what, we're lucky we're up here today, mate. Rugged up, hats on, almost went the gloves as well. But look, big day for the football club today.
Oh, look, mate, it is. We're it's pretty average conditions. I had a look at the map a little bit earlier, and rain's coming across, but I think we're clear for a little while now. So hopefully we won't get too much more rain. Big day out for the club. We've just had Steve Maguire, Magic Maguire, out there playing his 250th, along with David Crockett Carruthers. Both in their 250 today, mate, and had a great day. I think Magic managed a couple of goals as well, so great to see, and just a good start for the day.
Absolutely right, and look, as you mentioned that, the reserves had a 50-point win to start with. Be pretty happy with that, and the boys will be celebrating long and hard with the 50-point win there, and obviously the 250th. Look, at much going on at the club tonight?
Mate, not a lot. We've got a little bit going on tonight, but I think the biggest thing we'll get around the two boys that have done the 250th. It's a big thing for us, big. You know, I think for any sport, to be honest, doesn't matter if it's footy or anything else, you can rack up 250 in the seniors. You've done a pretty good job. And these two guys have been around the club a long time. We'll have both Crockett and Magic come into the commentary box a little bit later and have a chat to you as well. But it's going to be a pretty special night just to celebrate with them.
Yeah, look, and massive congratulations to those two fellas. And as Simon said, we'll have an opportunity to sit there and have a chat with them I think it's in the third and fourth quarters there as well. So, look, been a good year so far for the Bullcreek Leeming side, sitting 10-2, second on the ladder at the moment. And fair to say you'd be pretty comfortable where you are in that top two at the moment?
Yeah, look, we're pretty excited about it. I've been president now for 2 years, been around the club for about 6 or 7 years, so I'm a fairly new one to the club compared to a lot of the guys around here. And in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of games that we've lost by under a goal. This year, we've turned that around. Hards, our senior coach, has managed to get the belief in the side and the structure to the point where we win those games now.
Yep.
And that's made all the difference. We scraped into the top 5 last year, waiting for another game's results. This year we're sitting second by 2.5 games and pretty happy with it. But look, still 6 games to go. There's still a long way in the season. Realistically, we're only 2/3 of the way there, and we've got to concentrate on that to make sure we finish second. Yeah,
look, exactly right. Look, the only 2 games that you've lost so far, early in the season to North Freo, where I guess everyone's trying to find their feet, and then that loss to Whitford's as well. But look, Whitford's obviously sitting 12 and zip. You probably still find yourselves fairly confident, definitely, that you can match it on your day with the Whitford side.
Oh, look, I think we can. We got caught short against North Freo early in the season. And I think, we've grown a lot since then, and our second game against North Freo was a lot better. Played very, very well, came back from, I think it was 14 or 15 points down at, I think, half-time to get over the line. And I think our best footy will certainly match it with Whitford's, no worries whatsoever.
Yeah, look, I've had an opportunity to watch Whitford's this year as well, and look, I think you're definitely right around the mark when it comes to that, and hopefully the way you're sitting at the moment sets you up for an exciting finals series. And look, if we jump back to the last time that these two teams did meet, it was actually round 4 in Bassendean, and look, you did end up getting the Chockies by 47 points, with Fallows kicking 3, and then Brennan, Duffy, Perham and Rory Williams all kicking 2. So look, good even spread of goal scorers, a 47-point win. But look, Bassendean, they're a tough team actually. They go hard at the football. You know you'll be up for it today.
Look, we will. There's no doubt about it. That game probably doesn't it reflects the hard work we put in. But the reality is we closed the game out in probably the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And so it was a tight game up until probably halfway through the third. Managed to get ourselves away after that and get to a point where we could win the game convincingly. Took the 4 points, and we'll always take that. But it was a tough game, and it will be again today.
Yeah, look, I think you're right. As the two players went to the middle of the ground, and Bassendean have actually won the toss with the captain there in Liam Kelly, and they'll be kicking to the right of screen. So look, not far away from the start of this game, and look, it's going to be a big day for the Bullcreek Leeming Football Club, especially with those two players and their 250ths. Look, obviously you can't do these things without all the sponsors that you have. A couple of shout-outs to, I guess, probably a couple of your major sponsors that you have at the moment, and that have helped the Bullcreek Leeming Football Club. Yeah,
look, thank you. Look, we have a. I suppose, before I get into the sponsors, we do have a sponsorship manager in Pete Wren who does an absolutely magnificent job. All of our volunteers have a full-time job, and we get down here and do what we do for the club, and he's done a great job this year in getting some of those on. Our major sponsors, though, today, and you'll see it on the back of the league jumpers, is Familiar Goods. Kieran King's been around the club for a number of years, was a football player here for a long time, now has young kids and a thriving business, and really doesn't have the time to get down here as often as he'd like, obviously, and doesn't play footy. He is down here today, and we'll try and maybe just get him into the commentary box if we get a chance. Familiar Goods, we've got the boys from Leeming IGA. They own both the Leeming IGA and also Celebrations, and so they're a major sponsor of ours as well. They look after us through those two, and then finally through Cropline we have Starlight Foundation, which was another big one that's come on board this year. We did a Starlight Foundation fundraiser a couple of weeks ago, raised about $1,500 for them, which was was terrific from our perspective. Lovely to be able to do that sort of thing for them, but they came on board as sponsors as well through something that Cropline initiative from them. So those 4 are our major sponsors. We do have a lot of others that help us out, but certainly very, very good.
Excellent. And look, a big thank you to all the sponsors that obviously help not only the Bullcreek Leeming Football Club, but look, right throughout country and amateur football. Look, it makes a big difference, and without that we wouldn't be able to put on the productions that we do each and every week. Because the players start getting to position now. As we mentioned earlier, Classic Clashes proudly sponsored by Dartfish and Filming Footy. Some of the other ones, we've got the Blue Diamond Machinery Goal of the Day, and I'll tell you what, we'll see some absolute belters out there today. We've got the AFRI Mark of the Day, and a new one for me, the Lobster Shack Tackle of the Day. So look, not very far from the opening bounce now. Players getting to their positions. The umpires warming up as well. I'll tell you what, they'll need to keep the legs moving to keep it nice and warm today. My name is Ward Harris, joined with Simon Thomas, president of the Bullcreek Leeming Football Club, to start commentary of this first quarter. As the umpire holds his whistle off, Bassendean kicking to the left of screen, Bullcreek Leeming to the right, and a nice kick off the ground by Modica, goes inside 50 now. Good tackle pressure there from Kelly. Ball not going anywhere, and we'll have a ball up on the Bassendean forward 50. We love people to get involved each and every week when we're going through these clashes. If you do want to get involved, 0408 603 269. Flick us a text. Let us know where you're watching from. Jump us a couple of messages through. And look, as long as they're appropriate, we'd love to read them on air and get people involved. As Bassendean pick the ball up now, go inside there through Daly. Good bump ball picked up there. No, it's actually jumped off legs and gone out of bound on the outer side. Conditions at the moment quite cool, Simon, but hopefully the weather decides to stay away.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the Bomb website, and it's 16 degrees, feels like 6. So it's a beautiful day out there for footy.
Absolutely right, and I was saying to cameraman John a little bit earlier as I got in the car up in Nangara way, It felt like it was blowing a gale, and I thought it was going to be about a 10-goal breeze, no matter where we were going. But the conditions not bad at the moment, apart from it being really cold. As Bullcreek bring that one out now through Marshall. He handballs off, and a nice kick down the line. A good mark taken this time, and it's marked that time by Dylan Williams. He'll go inboard and finds a player there, number 6 in Duffy. Been a good player so far this year as Duffy. He kicks long inside 50. Good spoil over the top from Bassendean. Bit of a leg race. McCulloch, he's going to be able to try and pick it up. And happy to see the ball go out of bounds about 40 metres out from the Bullcreek goal. Look out, obviously we've got a few people listening in from right the way around Australia and sometimes overseas, which is always good. Bullcreek, Leeming, look, who do you think are some players for us to watch out for today? As the umpire throws the ball in again, and it's cleared out this time by Modica. Long kick, pack of players. Good spoil over the top this time by Dronovic, and the ball goes out of bounds right in front of the broadcast position. So, Simon, both teams just feeling each other out at the moment?
Yeah, they are. I think it's just that early days in the game. Just see how it's all going to play out. So nice throw in that time. Bullcreek just able to knock that one to the bottom of the pack. Players jump on board. Tickler's down there. Bit of a wrestle. Yeah, Tommy Marshall having a bit of a crack there, and young Dobbo in there as well.
So the umpire throws up once again, and good knockdown that time by Henderson. He looks like he's going to be a pretty dominant force in the ruck, and they look to kick it inside 50 once again. Nice set of hands back, goes over the cross this time to Rory Williams. He's tackled, drops the ball, but able to pick it up again, and they'll go back inside there through Duffy. Duffy loses it. Nice knock forward there by the Bassendean side. Could have been a throw, picked up though by Gordon, and he kicks it up. Henderson can't quite mark that one there. Nice gang tackle there by Bassendean. Umpire circles around, says give it to me, and we'll have a throw up 60 metres out from the Bullcreek goal. So 3 minutes into this game, Sport All scoreboard, no score yet from either side.
Looking for another big game from Goose Henderson in the ruck. He's been playing really well for us this season.
Yeah, and it looks to be a pretty dominant performance. Vader normally pretty handy in the ruck for the Bassendean side as well. So it'll be a good contest as they go inside 50 now through Robson. Going to be a bit of a leg race there. Drennan tracking it back. Good speed that time by the number 19 in Macaulay. And really good work there by Drennan just to try and knock that ball through. First score on the board for the Bassendean Swans, and they are one behind. Bullcreek yet to score, almost 4 minutes in on the Sport All scoreboard. So we get to see our first kick-in of the game. How do we say this player's name? Donkovic.
Donkovic.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
But we call him Donks.
All right, we're happy with Donks.
We're happy with Donks, a lot easier. So he's been terrific down back this year for us.
Yeah, ball not going anywhere in the middle of the ground. And look, every year I was going to say you end up having a few players coming in and out and all that kind of stuff. Any guys that have come in this year and probably made a bit of a difference for you?
Yeah, look, Duffy, number 5, he's been a good one for us. And Tommy Marshall, he came in 2 years ago, last season and this season, and has played particularly well. He'd be up there. He won our fairest and best last year, and I reckon he'll be up there again this year. Good.
And those couple of players do make a bit of a difference. I know Duffy's obviously kicked the 18 for the season, so a pretty dangerous player for you guys, and makes a bit of difference there as the umpire's found a free kick, and it's going to go to Higgins. He looked to chip it across, goes to the captain, Kelly. Not sure if it was 15. Umpire said it was, and they'll look to try and go now. They mark 55 metres out. Nice little chip kick inside 50. And that's a good mark by Bassendean. And the big fella there in Robson. He'll go and have a shot and goal. About 45 metres out. Slightly angled. And let's see what he can do. As we mentioned earlier today, Blue Diamond Machinery for the goals of the day. And hopefully we'll see our first very, very soon for Bassendean's sake. Is there normally much of a breeze that kind of tricks it? Is it normally an easier end or a tricky end at the Bullcreek ground?
To be honest, probably no. We noticed today just through the reserves game and a little bit through the Colts game that it was swirling both ways. At times it looked like it was going south through north almost, and then it swung around. So it's a little bit tricky. This forward pocket where we've just the opposite side of the ground, seems to be a bit difficult, but as such, not too bad.
There's Robson there, misses to the left-hand side, another minor score on the board for Bassendean. So decides to play on out of defence now. Good long kick. Big pack of players will sit there and form. Henderson went up there, couldn't quite take the mark, knocked down by his opposite number, Invader. And Bassendean looked to go inside 50 off the side of the boot and just out of bounds on the full. And we'll have a free kick and it'll come back through Jackie Drennan. So both teams still just feeling each other out at the moment. Drennan goes a long 45 kick. That's a sensational kick, finds Joshy Kuno. He goes a long 45 there, lateral kick. Finds a player on the outer side.
Looks like Ash Glenister.
So Glenister goes long up the line now. Bassendean player at the front, but it's been picked up by Williams, who hands back inboard. Duffy's able to pick the ball up. Umpire says holding the ball. Possibly a bit unlucky there. And Bassendean will look to go now. They've come out pretty hot to start this Bassendean side. Goes inside. Higgins wraps around there. Goes back to Modica. He normally uses the ball well. This time is no exception. Doesn't quite sit that time for Macaulay. Drennan was there. It's going to go back this time. It's picked up that time by Omerod. He handballs back and it's a clearing kick. Almost a good mark taken that time by the number 13 in Martin. Players jump on board. And we'll have another ball up right in front of the Bullcreek Leeming tent. As we mentioned, conditions still quite overcast. Bit of a swirly breeze. And tricky for both teams. As Henderson's just able to take that one out of the ruck. It's going to bounce in. Off hands. And goes out of bounds. Gains about 5 metres. As they look to try and push the ball up the middle of the ground again. So Bassendean start this game bottom of the ladder and look to be the team that's probably going to get relegated out of B grade definitely at the moment. They're taking it right up to the Bullcreek side at the moment. Good handball back inboard that time through Kuno. Looks to flick the ball forward there through Henderson. He's gang tackled, drops the ball, and good work by Bassendean as they look to go through Kelly once again. He's going to kick the ball inside 50. Almost a good mark taken there, but pressured it well. Robson looks to try and handball the ball back. Picked up that time by Peake, and he goes a clearing kick, but only as far as McGuinness. So McGuinness chips it back, finds Modica. He goes a short 45, chipped off there and done very well that time by Fraser McDougall. McDougall goes and kicks now, finds a player all by himself, and here's the overlap. Duffy drops it. He's able to knock it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and loses it, unfortunately. A good tackle from behind there by Neddy Brennan. And we'll have a ball up right on the forward 50. Possibly a missed opportunity there for the Bullcreek boys. And ball just didn't want to sit for Ethan Duffy, did it?
Yeah, no, it did it. He was eyeing his 19th goal, I think, for the season there and couldn't quite get it.
So umpire throws up again. Nice knock forward. Left foot kick inside 50. And look, did well, the defender there in Hudson Babbage, just to take that mark. Babbage, the left footer, goes and kicks now. And it's a good kick. Finds Daniel Sharp. Sharp decides to go long now and using the ground very well at the moment, Bassendean. Finds a number 5 in Higgins. Very short, low kick. Finds Jackson White, who goes back to Higgins. Good foot skills generally at the moment from the Bassendean side. And they look to try and bring it out now. And a bit of a rushed kick. It's been turned over and marked by Ethan Curran. So Curran goes inside 50. I'll tell you what, this guy in Higgins has absolutely run a mile. He's picked it up on the wing, gone inside 50 and got the ball as well. Could have been holding the ball, umpire. Decided to let it play. But Bullcreek have picked it up anyway and it's going to come out now.
That's Pavey.
And there's a good mark there by Lewin Pavey. Great name, Lewin Pavey.
His old man's away on holidays at the moment, but I'm hoping he's watching the streaming.
Excellent, right. Look, if you are, remember, get involved. 0408 603 269. Flick us that text through. The number's on the screen, 0408 603 269. And always good to hear from you having involved as Duffy picks up the ball, goes on goal. And absolutely never in doubt. And I'll tell you what, a very welcome addition to the football club.
Certainly is.
Bullcreek Leeming go end to end. And on the Sportal scoreboard at 10.5 minutes in, they lead 1 goal straight. Bassendean just the 2 behinds. A margin of 4 points. And look, probably fair to say, after a really good start from Bassendean, good to be in the lead.
Yeah, look, it's to be honest, we haven't had most of the play, but it's nice to get that goal. Duffy finished it off beautifully, didn't trouble the goal umpire too much. He just stood still and watched it go straight over the top. So Lovely to see it from him. Moves on to 19. I think he's on 19 and Dill Williams is on 18, our captain. So looking good.
Absolutely right. It's a well-needed goal. First goal. It took almost 11 minutes in this first quarter after a bit of an arm wrestle as the umpire brings it back to the middle. Vader in the ruck against Henderson. Henderson just does well to take it out. Powers through 1 and 2. Probably had a bit more time on the kick, but threw it on the boot anyway. Babbage handballs the ball backwards there. It's going to be picked up by McGuinness. He'll look to try and bring it out now, this time through White. Risky kick. It's going to work out all right, I think. And it's going to be picked up this time by Daniel Sharp, is it? No. Ball goes back to Bullcreek Leeming, and here they go back inside at 50 once again through McDougall. He goes a nice little chip kick. Ball smothered. Well done by Henderson. Up and under kick. Who's going to fly at it? Almost a good mark taken. Clearing kick there by Sharp, and it's going to come out now through Kelly. He's got time. Looks to find a player in the middle of the ground. Higgins keeps his feet there and able to lay a good tackle, but nice handball forward there through Kerno. Umpire's paid something, has he? A legal disposal? And it will be a free kick to the big fella there in Henderson. Henderson goes off, goes back to Glenister.
Yeah, that's the one.
And that is a good kick
nice delivery.
Inside 50. Glenister looks to be a pretty good ball user.
Very good. No, he does a good job for us every week.
So Nettie Brennan with the ball. He's marked it probably about 35, 40 metres out, almost directly in front. And what are we doing with Nettie Brennan? Do you reckon he's going to put this one through?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So we're saying he's about 50-50 from here. The left footer. The ball drops. I'll tell you what, it's not a great ball drop.
Nope.
And just out to the left-hand side. And I think you might have even been a bit kind to him then as well by the sounds of it, Simon. But a minor score on the board, on the Sportal scoreboard, 117. Almost 13 minutes got in, Bassendean just the 2 behinds. A margin of 5 points. There's Babbage. Good long kick there. It's going to land almost in the centre circle. That was an absolute monster there.
Big kick.
And it's turned over there. Oh, big bump there on the number 4 in Warren Williams. Bump straight up, straight away. And Bassendean will look to try and prick the ball up now through Vader. He handballs off now. Good kick. And goes forward there. Couldn't quite take the mark, but they're going to mop it up this time at the Bullcreek side.
Nice.
And here they come now through the number 17 in James. He chips it up. Almost a pinpoint pass, but just floats over the top, and it's marked by Luther Gordon. So Gordon goes back. Finds Vader. Babbage just looking to take his time, the left footer. Another nice kick. It finds Hill. So terrible kick there by the play there from Bassendean. Bullcreek just doing it well. Holding space and goes to the captain in Dylan Williams. He kicks inside 50 there. That is a great kick. Might sit there all right for Fellows. And you've called it well, Simon. Definitely a free kick.
Fellows sitting down there. I think he's got the free kick, has he?
Yeah, it looks to be that way.
Yep. Odds on for this one, I would suggest.
So Caney Fellows, he's kicked 12 so far this year.
Has to go and get his own footy. Boundary umpire was a bit interested in getting to the goalpost, I think.
Oh, that's all right. Sometimes they've got to get their position. They're running the old legs, the old boundary umpires.
They got a few Ks to do today.
Absolutely right. So we weren't sure with Nettie Brennan, but Simon, the president of Bull Creek, he goes, look, I reckon Kane Fellows, he's kicked 12 already this year. He's a bit closer. He should put this right over the goal umpire's head.
Put the mockers on him. I put the house on him, I reckon. He's a pretty good kick.
Jeepers. I'm about to score myself a house here, John. Is it going to be all right? Fellows! Oh,
there we go, straight over the top.
And you keep your house for another day. But most importantly, Bullcreek Leeming get their second on the board. And on the Sportal scoreboard, 15 minutes in, 2-1-13. Bassendean Swans just 2 behinds. And after a good start by the Bassendean side, now a margin of 11 points. And Fellows kicks their second. And probably just starting to get that ascendancy back now, are the Bull Creek boys.
Yeah, I think they were feeling out the Bassendean. They weren't sure where Bassendean was and where the boys were, and starting to play a little bit of our footy now, our brand of footy, which is good. Hards will be very happy with their coach.
Well, that's great to see. And look, thanks for those people already getting involved. We've got someone watching from Geelong, my nephew, Riley Sutherland, number 2. So, look, big shout out to you, and best of luck, Riley, in this game. We've got a Basso supporter coming through as well. We've got a couple of nicknames out there as well. So, Ethan Curran, number 11, nickname Eshe. Sounds about right for a Basso boy. No. Benny Blissett, number 8, Benny Dacos.
Nice name.
And Liam Kelly, the captain there, TK. So, big shout out to a few of the Basso boys there, as well as in that time we have another minor score coming through, and Bassendean looking to try and clear the ball out this time. Daly just sees the ball go out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in about 55, maybe 60 metres out from the Bullcreek goal, just in front of the Bassendean interchange area. The umpire throws it up. Strong work there by Bassendean. No free kick pulled. What's the umpire pick there? He has called a high tackle.
Dobson.
So Dobson will be with the ball. Normally a good user of the footy.
Certainly is. Certainly is. He's had a few injuries over his career, but he does a very good job.
So good kick inside 50 by Lukey Dobson. Snaps around his body this time by Sutherland.
There we go.
Finds a player all by himself.
Looks like Duffy again, is it? Is that Duffy out there? No.
It is indeed.
I think it is Duff. Yep.
So Ethan Duffy kicks his 20th of the year, second goal of the game. And they extend the lead out. 17 minutes in now. On the Sportal scoreboard, 3 goals, 2-20. Bassendean just the 2 behinds, and now out to a lead of 18 points. 17 gone in this first quarter, and some pretty good contenders for the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day so far. As the umpire's found a free kick, and it's going to come back to the middle of the ground here. I'm not sure exactly what's happened there.
Okay, no, I didn't see that either. That's to do with the 6 and 6 rule or not? Normally they give you a warning on that.
Yeah. So unless it's happened a couple of times that we've missed there, but I don't remember seeing any warning so far. So it could be something different. Could have been a bit of chat out there, and as we know, that happens week in, week out. But it's going to be a free kick, most important to Bullcreek, and they kick long inside 50. Could have been hands in the back.
I think he's called it.
And he has indeed, and that's a free kick against Luther Gordon.
Is that Fraser McDougall? Oh, no.
It was indeed, and Dukes just... No, Dukes popped it up, and he's just turned it over. And
unfortunate.
Been a turnover, and it's going to come through Bassendean and Connor Tolley. So Tolley chips across, finds Daniel Sharp. Moving the ball pretty well out of defence on the Bassendean side. It's normally these couple of kicks where they've run into a bit of trouble now. White decides to just kick long down the line. Good spoil over the top that time. Henderson was there, went through his hands. It's been handball back, goes to Modica, who goes a clearing kick. Bit of a bump ball there. It's going to work out all right for Bassendean, but that is a good tackle there from behind.
Ash Glenister again.
By Glenister. And we'll have a ball up about 70 metres out from the Bassendean goal. Tyner McNamara limping off there for the Bassendean side.
Doesn't look in good shape, does he?
No, he doesn't. We'll have to watch that one there as well as the ball trickles out of bounds. So thoughts of the first quarter so far, Simon? Obviously Bassendean came out pretty red hot, but look, probably be pretty happy to be up by 18 at this stage of the game.
Yeah, look, we've weathered the storm, which has been great. They've done a good job. It's a 4-quarter game, but we're certainly putting ourselves in good stead for the rest of the match. And obviously, if this rain does come through, we want to be in front if we can. So no, we look good at this point.
And as we mentioned, look, the breeze doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot out there before. I thought with Hudson Babbage's kick there that landed right in the centre circle, there might have been a bit of breeze that way, but I'll tell you what, that was just about the longest kick you'll see out here. And good work there.
I think that's holding the ball. It is.
And a good tackle that time. And a bit of biffo out there at the moment. Jackson White getting involved.
Always a little bit of feeling between these two sides.
Bit of history there?
Well, I think so. I get that impression.
So nice little chip across this time by Dylan Williams. He finds Drennan.
Over to Donkovic.
So there's Donk there. Nice kick and just making the ground nice and big. They'll look to try and go now. Probably didn't need to go so quickly, but it's worked out all right, and goes to Glenister once again. Not a great kick. Almost picked up that time by Daly, but it goes off his legs. It goes out of bounds on the outer side. About 4.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter on the Sportal scoreboard. And it is still Bullcreek leading by 18 points as the umpire throws it in. Henderson knocks it down. Good pick up once again. And I'll tell you what, he's had the ball on an absolute string to start this game.
He has a bit, hasn't he?
A good handball back inboard now, and they go inside 50. Duffy's on the run. He sniffs a third out already. Kick off the ground. I'll tell you what, an interesting kick. Doesn't quite sit there for Dill Williams. Ball looking to come out now, and nice bodywork that time by McDougall. It's been picked up. Kicks around his body. Good
Nice
pick up
pick
there.
up. Oh.
Kicks on goal. No one able to sit there and pick it up now. Does. Picks around his body. And that is an absolute beautiful goal by Nettie Drennan. He missed one earlier in this first quarter, and he's kicked one from about 5 metres out.
Specialist in the square.
Just good front and centre work there by Nettie Drennan.
Beautiful.
They extend their lead out now. And as we see that ball bobble around, that is an absolute contender for the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day. And on the Sportal scoreboard, they increase their lead out now. 4 goals to 26. Bassendean, just the 2 battalions. And Bullcreek obviously now kicked 4 on the dot. Another shout out there, and watching from Belmont in Geelong. There we go.
Goodness me.
Grandson in Riley again from Nan and Pop, and Nan and Pop obviously enjoying the coverage proudly.
Yeah, they get over and see us once a year at least. Popped over in, where were we? I think it's June time. I think it was June time now. They popped over and watched a couple of games of Riley's, which was good. Riley's number 2, plays a great game for us. Here we go to Glenister again.
So Glenister with the ball. Sorry, mate, you're all right.
Yeah, no. Rory Williams had it there.
And ball turned over, another free kick, and it's going to go to Brody Tickle. Oh, Duffy could smell that one, couldn't he?
He could.
So Kelly looks to just try and stroll out now, takes one bounce. Trying to look for options ahead of him there.
Yeah, nice mark.
And a good mark taken that time by Jackie Drennan. Goes back and forth. Side there, finds Cusack. Goes a short 45. Nice work. Goes across the peak.
Cunio's got it. Getting it down the wing.
So a big shout out to Mike Cunio, his dad. Apparently he's watching on today. Remember to flick us through a message on 0408 603 269.
The big fella in Goose, I think he's out there somewhere.
And great kicking board there.
Oh, unfortunate.
And just turned over and finds Benny Blissett. Benny Dacos, as he was called a little bit earlier today. It's going to be picked up this time by Sharpie. He steps in board, does well, goes onto his right foot.
Oh dear.
And not the greatest kick, and it's going to be a free kick here to Bullcreek Leeming as they look to try and kick back in board now.
On the move, minute and a half left.
Do you reckon you got one more in them?
Fingers crossed.
So good kick inside 50 there. Bit of a 3-on-1. I thought the umpire could have paid that mark there.
He's paid the free kick, I think, for dissent.
Jeepers. A bit unlucky there, I would have thought. Yeah, I actually thought that Conatoli had taken that mark on the second bite.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
He's given a bit of feedback away and given the free kick, and you just can't do that.
I think the feedback was the problem.
Yeah.
We had it earlier in the reserves, and a little bit of feedback caused a few issues down to a red card, I think, in the end.
Gotcha. So Fraser McDougall. He's going to kick from about 40 metres out. The president seems a bit happier with this one.
It's off the side of the boot.
It's going to drop just short. Ball stays in play.
And he's found a free kick. And it's going Bullcreek's way by the looks of it.
It is indeed. So for another free kick for Bullcreek. And with about 30 seconds left in this first quarter.
And in the square as well.
The big fella, Daniel Henderson.
Yeah, Goose has had a good game so far.
Yeah, look, he's at my moment. We have the Archie's thongs for our player of the day. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be right in the frame for the Archie's thongs at the moment. Big fella though. I reckon he's going to need about the size 14, size 15s.
I think he might. He's a big boy.
He is indeed. And look, on the Sportal scoreboard as we get to quarter time, Bullcreek Leeming dominant first quarter, 5-32. Bassendean just the 2 behinds. And look, thank you so much for joining us in this first quarter, Simon. And look, I'll give you a quick opportunity. Any other sponsors or anything else you want to call out to before I let you get back to festivities for the day?
Yeah, look, I'd love to. We've obviously got a fair few sponsors that come on board with us, but thank you to WA Car Locators, to Pool and Spa in Bullcreek, to our friends at Toyota in Canning Vale. They look after us and come along every year and play a part in our sponsorship. To Collective, which is a fairly new business that's come on board supplying alcohol, not necessarily to us, but just around the place. And dad of Dill and Rory Williams. Dr. Jags, our local member. To the hair firm, Bullcreek Tavern. Momentum Insurance Brokers, fuel distributors. We've got a fair few there. There's Channel 7, the West, a few different sponsors that we have. And look, it's been a privilege to be up here this afternoon. Had a great time, and thank you very much. I look forward to the rest of the call.
Good on you. Look, thanks so much, Simon. Appreciate your time in this quarter. We'll wrap up. We'll go straight to quarter time, and we'll see you on the other side of this break.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service, and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people, they're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring, it is for everyone.
And welcome back to Beasley Reserve out in Leeming as we have this Toyota B-Grade Round 13 Clash, proudly sponsored by Classic Clashes and Filming Footy and Dartfish out here today. And look, a pretty dominant first quarter by the Bullcreek Leeming side on the Sportal scoreboard, leading this game 5 goals to 32. Bassendean just the 2 behinds. And look, after an okay start from the Bassendean side, using the ball pretty well, Bullcreek Leeming just went bang from the 11-minute mark of that first quarter. They're able to kick 5 and find themselves 30-point winners. Look, leaders, not winners. We haven't blown the siren yet, but look, thanks to Simon Thomas, the president, for spending the first quarter with us now. And we've got an ex-president there in Michael Bardley joining me now. And look, Michael, mate, great to have you on board for this second quarter.
Well, it's great to be here.
So obviously, you've seen the first quarter there. Look, what did you think? How do you think the Bullcreek boys went in that first quarter?
I think we're going very well at the moment. We're very well drilled. Kyle, who coaches us, arrived about 4 years ago and set in a specific game plan, and we play to the game plan, and we're pretty good. We're pretty slick, and when it gets hard, we're pretty hard as well. So we've been very dominant today, but in all fairness, we don't know what the opposition's up against, or whether they've got players or not got players.
Yeah, look, been a pretty good performance from the Bullcreek Science so far, and I'll tell you what, watching Bassendean, some of their ball movement and their leg speed and their kicking's actually been very, very good. Just the Bullcreek boys able to take their opportunities when they have so far.
Too many turnovers for Bassendean.
Absolutely right, and it's normally been around that mid part of the ground, and then Bullcreek able to rebound straight back inside 50.
Yep.
So a big second quarter coming out. It's here today. Some of our sponsors once again: Great Southern Fuels, Retrovision, AFGI for the mark of the day, Blue Diamond Machinery for the goal of the day, the Lobster Shack tackle of the day, and Filming Footy and Dartfish. But hope you're enjoying this classic clash out here at Beasley Reserve. Ward Harris and Michael Bradley in commentary to start this second quarter as Henderson able to knock it down. Picked up that time by Vader though, and he'll look to try and kick the ball forward for Bassendean. Doesn't quite sit right this time, and they'll go a nice clearing kick there through Drennan. He's been pretty good so far. Handball's there through Gleinster. Picked up this time, it's been turned over and goes to Cameron McGuinness. So they'll look to try and handball back for now, and finds Vader in the middle of the ground all by himself. So Vader will look to try and kick the ball forward. Doesn't quite hit the target there, but it's going to work out all right for Tickle. He'll sit there and handballs across now, and they'll go inside 50. You can see that ball starting to hold up a little bit in the breeze. It's marked there by Donks. So Donks just assesses what's ahead of him now, just decides to kick long through the middle of the ground. And Babbage reads it the best for Bassendean. Takes the mark now, so the left footer. Nice little chip kick, finds Monica. Got a player all by himself there in Robson, I think it is. Decides to come across to Sharp. So Daniel Sharp, ball in hand, 60 metres out. Called to play on now, steps Henderson. And he'll go inside 50 now. Sharp all the way to the line there. Almost a good mark, picked up, snaps! Now that is a good goal there by Brodie Tickle. And I'll tell you what, that is a genuine contender for the Blue Diamond goal of the day. But most importantly, the first goal of the board for the Bassendean side. And on the Sportal scoreboard, 1.5 minutes in, Bullcreek leading 5 goals to 32. Bassendean 1 goal to 8. Back down to a margin of 24 points. And Michael, not the right start there for the Bullcreek side, but I'll tell you what, bloody good goal there by Bassendean.
It was an excellent goal. I think we probably fiddled around with the ball too much in defence with it. We're going straight down the ground, but one goal. We're still comfortable. We're still playing good football. So
absolutely
we
right.
We should be get the end result.
So good start to the second quarter by Bassendean, and Bullcreek will look to try and respond nice and quickly there. Nice knockdown there by Henderson, and the umpire says, "Give it back to me." Great to have a few texts coming in today. Some people listening in from up in Coral Bay, loving the stream. Go Louis Pavy. So thanks for the shout out there. Special shout out to the Real Housewives of Upper Bullcreek. I can't hear you ladies. Footy mums are the best from Kerry. Excellent shout out there, and good to hear from you there as well. And Toddy Duckworth watching from Lake Grace. Line markings look great on TV. He says he volunteers at the club, which is always good as well. And Toddy Duckworth, do you know who that is, Michael?
No, I haven't met him, no.
Nah, fair enough. I was going to say that, mate, there are that many volunteers in footy over the years, aren't there? And it's what really makes the football clubs what they are today.
Well, I was lucky enough to win Volunteer of the Year for the AFL back in 2012.
Jeez, tell me that story.
Yeah, no, I was nominated by my club through East Fremantle, and I was lucky enough to be awarded the Volunteer of the Year. Went and represented Western Australia in Victoria. Excuse me. But very good, very lovely time. Took my wife, and we went over for the Friday march, and then the match, and it was the match that Sydney won, and we went out that entertained that night and came back the next day. So, but in me winning the volunteers, I was only one of 40,000, so I was just the representative of all the volunteers. And you are correct. Without volunteers, our sport is lost. It's easy to get a team on the ground, but the consistency of getting them on the ground is the people that, like statisticians of a Thursday night, people who work behind the bar, people who attend, help with training and everything like that. It's so important. So marked by Fraser McDougall, probably one of the icons of our football club, has been, it's not too good, but I think he's done his leg. But
Fraser might have done his hammy there. He's been around forever and a day, almost as long as you.
Yeah, well, I've had 35 years. I think I'm still a bit older than him, but no, you're probably correct. Fraser and his wife have just had twin boys. So,
congrats.
And he played his 150th last week and had his 2 young children there, so it's quite good.
Excellent. And look, obviously your time as an ex-president of the football club, and massive congratulations obviously on the Volunteer of the Year award those 12 years ago now. Look, you would have seen a lot of things change obviously through the years. I hear on the rumour mill as well, you're obviously responsible for helping get the ladies team in 4 years ago as well.
Yeah, we set that up, yep.
Excellent.
And because the reason that was set up, that the Perth Footy League wanted to provide for women to play football, and a lot of people don't agree that women necessarily can play football. Well, I do, and I think that they bring a different culture to our football club, and they are there, they participate, and they're very organised, and our women have been we started on the bottom grade and we're now in B grade, and coached well, and we've got 2 teams, so it means the Bullcreek Footy Club now got 6 teams, which is very, very good.
Absolutely fantastic there, and look, we see each and every year that the women's sides, they just keep growing and growing.
Yeah, they are, yep.
The competition level keeps going up as well, which is
better. Of course,
great to see.
Yeah.
And Bullcreek pushing inside 50 now. I think Bassendean are going to bring it out through Babbage, and that is a good long kick there, and marked on the chest of Joey Woods. He flicks it across there, goes back to McNamara, and he kicks in board. Ordinary kick, and it's been picked off this time. And a good mark that time by Cusack. And he kicks it on and finds the number 12 in Tommy Marshall.
He's a good player.
Marshall been a pretty good, I heard he won your best and fairest last year.
Yeah, very good player.
And I'll tell you what,
very consistent, yep.
This young fella in Ethan Duffy, he's been a pretty good pickup this year for you as well.
Yes, we've been very lucky.
So Ethan, do you know where he came from? Where was he previously?
I think we may have got him through East Fremantle.
Gotcha.
I'm not quite sure.
So Duffy, he'll kick from right on 50. He's kicked 2 so far, and he's not going to kick a third yet. Almost marked on the line. Knocked back into play. Good tackle there by Gordon. Flicks it back. Goes to Sutherland. He's tackled there. Ball stays in. Called an illegal disposal actually in the end. It will be a free kick to Bassendean. So obviously, as we mentioned, you yourself, ex-president of the football club. How long was your term for?
I've had 3 goes. I've been here for 30 years. I've had 3 turns. Lucky enough to be president when we won 3 back in 2012. We won 3 premierships, which was really good for the football club. Put us back into B grade. Yep. Which was very good. Well, I think we are a very good community football club. We've got a lot of good people. We have a great association with Bullcreek Juniors, and of course the Bullcreek Juniors are pretty famous of the amount of people like the Cousinses and the Blacks and all those.
Had some handy footballers come through.
They have, yeah. And we've obviously over the period of time have got some great footballers. I mean, I coached the 17s and came to here and coached the Colts for 3 years before I got involved in the administration side. But it's been enjoyable. My wife and I, as my stepson only played till he's 21 and then went overseas. So we basically have. It's been our family, and over the journey, and it's you make a lot of friends, and I'm sorry, what's his name? He's done it. It's a great kick. Just about a goal.
Oh, and I tell you what, how good is that from Ethan Cusack? We thought we'd seen it a bit earlier with the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day, but that is another contender there. And look, a well-needed goal by the Bullcreek side. And on the Sportal scoreboard, about 8.5 minutes in, is Bullcreek leading now 6 goals to 38. Yep. Bassendean, the 1-2-8, back out to a margin of 30 points. And good goal there by Ethan Cusack. And we got to sit right behind that one, Michael, as well. That was absolutely sensational.
Yep. It was a great.
And look, it's good to hear you saying. I've probably noticed that with my own kind of footy journey as well. Probably the relationships and the friends and that you make, that being involved in a football club, and it's what keeps you coming back each and every week and each and every year as well. So,
well, I think the best and the part is as you keep going in the future, the boys that you met at 18 and 19, you see them walking around the shopping centre. A couple of kids got a business and. You know, they've moved on significantly from when they were 18. They didn't know what they wanted to do, but they would turn up at a footy club. Footy club gave them an atmosphere to attend and everything like that. And that's been the good thing with the women's football is that development of personalities that they bring to the group. And I think, as far as we're concerned, the growth we've seen in that women's sport has been significant. I mean, the numbers increased from one team to another was generated from internally from the group. Wasn't any other thing than them wanting to get their friends to play footy, which is very good.
Yeah, and it really what it shows is just the mateship and the
camaraderie.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff is absolutely huge. And look, I've had the opportunities over the years to probably cover some women's games as well, and look, that's always been the key message when you actually have a chat to them, is going, look, why are you playing footy? And a lot of them going, hey, I love the skill level, I love the contact, but my main thing is I get to do something with my friends that's quite different. And the reason I got involved is because X, Y, and Z was involved, and then they come down and it is that big mateship, and it's just outstanding to see. And I think it's going to go from strength to strength as well. And and look, it's good to hear the Bullcreek side's going so well, especially with that team up in B grade now. And as Bullcreek go back inside 50, and a good mark there by Nettie Brennan. And Brennan goes a short kick and fires at Blake McCulloch.
But for all the good of that, this football club still is judged on one thing, and that's the team we're watching at the moment. We're, we win and lose on what our top graders done, and my point here is the significance is in having Kyle Hardy arrive 4 years to this football club. He's brought a different profile, different demeanour, made us more professional. There's no arguments. And this time every year in the last 4 or 5 years, we've been wondering whether we would stay in B grade. Well, that's not our proposition now.
No.
Our proposition is to see where we can go, and he deserves all the credit. He's done a marvellous job.
Absolutely right, and a big shout out to him, and congratulations on the work so far. And I think we'll have an opportunity to speak to him around half time sometime as well. And look, I think he'll be pretty happy, probably with a 5-goal lead at the moment. And
ask him how his knees are after playing the last game.
Oh, fair enough. We'll definitely have to have a chat to him about that as well.
We've had the two players playing their 250th, and he wanted to play with his mates, and he did, but I think his body's not
quite holding up how it wants to.
But no, the credit, he deserves a lot of credit, and I'm getting credit because I've been here for so long. It's the excellent job that Simon Thomas has done over the last couple of years, and before them there was a group of gentlemen that come up through the junior club. We used to call them the Mafia, but they were under Troy Wilson, did a marvellous job over a period of time to lifting us to where we are.
Excellent.
That today.
Good. And look, obviously you've been around a little while at the club. Steve Maguire, Gary Carruthers.
Yes.
What can you tell us? We have the opportunity to have a chat with them in the third and fourth quarter. But look, what can you tell us about those boys?
Well, Stephen has always been a very good footballer. He was a very good junior. Probably could have gone better, but he wanted to stay and play with his mates. Got all the skills in the world. I mean, was he right?
And I tell you what, big bump off the footy there, and if we had a Lobster Shack bump of the day, I tell you what, that would have been about it there. But look, both players feeling a bit worse for wear after that one there. There was a free kick that's come back to Bullcreek Leeming, but as you mentioned, Magic, obviously a pretty handy footballer back in his day.
I mean, he's got a good pedigree. His dad, John Maguire, is a famous West Australian cricketer and footballer, so he's got a good pedigree. David Carruthers.
Yep.
He's played 251, been a great star to this football club. He is now presently coaching the women's B grade side.
Yep.
And he involved with his father Gary, had a lot to do with the coaching of the girls through the initial stage and to where they are now. But Crockett's a good, hard footballer who plays to his ability every week. And 250 games is a fair amount of games at any club, so I mean for them to stay involved with, and it's basically mateship. A lot of these blokes, what's in the back? These blokes who get to this, they're playing basically with their friends and enjoying it. That's what community football is. Wherever you go, the best part about this sort of football is the atmosphere of having your mates and everything like that.
Absolutely right, and look, it's been great to obviously see those two boys, and we saw them cheered off after the game there, and we got to watch them run through the banner a little bit earlier today, which was absolutely sensational. And that's what you want to see is those kind of things really celebrated at community level, and we obviously got a lot of people hanging around today to celebrate those boys, and obviously watch the Bullcreek Leeming boys obviously come out on top today as well against Bassendean. So massive shout out once again to Gary Carruthers and Steve Maguire for their 250th today. And
David Carruthers.
Dave Carruthers, sorry, my apologies.
No, Gary is his father, who's coming due to the last half an hour.
Okay, gotcha. My apologies there. Fine. So David Carruthers.
Yep. Or Crockett, yep.
Davey Crockett, beautiful. As Bullcreek look to try and bring the ball through the middle of the ground again. We've had some more texts coming through. Thanks for the coverage, boys. Billy Drennan, watching from Fitzroy Crossing.
Yes, great man.
First time I've been able to watch my boy Jack for the year. Yes. Good start for the Bullcreek boys. And his young fella, Jack Drennan, been playing pretty well. And that one has gone through there. And another good goal. And it's been kicked by the boy in the blue boots. And he sits there and celebrates to the sky once again. So another goal on the board for the Bullcreek Leeming side. And they extend their lead out on the Sportal scoreboard now. 7-4-46. Bassendean 1-8. It's out to a big margin now of 38 points. And really dominating in the latter stages of this second quarter.
We normally have some great games, some great matches against Bassendean over the years, and they'll be right after. They'll come out after time. They're a competitive unit. I think they've been to A grade, and I think they've probably come down a couple of years ago. But
yeah, I saw them up in 8th grade a couple of years ago. Probably a slightly different team that they're rolling around with now, but they've always had traditionally a lot of talent that will come back generally from that Swan Districts kind of area.
Yes.
And they roll some pretty good players through there, and holding the ball there on the last goal scorer there in Kane Fallows. He's done well so far.
Yes, he has.
He's kicked 2 in this game and now kicked 14 for the year, and pretty good footballer is Kane Fallows as Bassendean look to try and clear the ball out now. It's going to be turned over, picked up this time by Whitaker. He handballs back there, goes to Tommy Marshall. He goes inside 50 once again, and there is that man in Fallows and gives away another free kick. Absolutely filthy. He wanted his third and turned over, and I think that could be our man there in the number 6.
Yes.
In Ethan Duffy's kicked 2 already. 20 for the year. And you'd be backing him in for his third, I would have thought, Michael.
I think it's a lot easier to kick from that pocket. He's played very well. So
18 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. Ethan Duffy going for his third.
Doesn't move, does he? No.
Goal umpire doesn't even think about moving. And that's the 8th on the board now for Bullcreek Leeming. Sportal scoreboard, 8 goals for 52. And Bassendean 1-8. And that is now out to a margin
Might be getting away from
of 44 points, and look, big lead at half-time for the Bullcreek Leeming side.
Yep.
So thanks again for all the shout-outs we've had throughout this game. 0408 603 269. Great to have you involved. 0408 603 269. Some great text coming through, especially from the Bullcreek Leeming side. Love to hear from a few more Bassendean players, families as well, and supporters. But thanks for all those that have got involved so far. And I'll tell you what, Ethan Duffy with his third of the game, probably right in the frame for the Archie's Thongs Player of the Day. And I'm not sure if you've seen them, Michael. We've got these beautiful Archie's Thongs products that we have just over to your left-hand side. Some arch support thongs. I'll tell you what, they've got to be about the most comfortable thongs. They do these, what do you call them, slides as well.
Yep.
And really good products. So big shout out and a thank you to Archie's once again for sponsoring us and the Player of the Day.
Sponsorship is very important in community football as well. You know, we find it very difficult sometimes, but we've had a very good run this year with sponsorship, which is good. Which is over a period of time, it's been, you know, most football clubs have struggled if they don't get sponsors. You really struggle with the everyday running of your football club.
Definitely right. And look, Simon, obviously when he was on a little bit earlier, he gave a big shout out to every single sponsor you guys had at the moment, which
sensational, isn't it?
Which is, look, good. It was great. And mate, I thought he was never going to stop, to be perfectly honest, with the amount of sponsors. But I'll tell you what, each and every single one of them, look, thank you so much for being involved and looking after the Bullcreek Leeming side, and look, being involved in footy as well. And I'll tell you what, one of my favourites on there is the Marco's Fussy Meats. I'll tell you what, they do just about the best pie or sausage roll. I actually had I think it was a cheese and jalapeno sausage roll recently, and it was one of my favourite things I've probably ever eaten, I reckon. So shout out to their sponsor there personally from me. Well done to all of them that get involved. As Bassendean look to pick the ball up now through the middle of the ground. Good tackle there. And we'll have a ball up just near the bullseye. So 4 minutes left to go in this second quarter. Bullcreek Leeming put on an absolute clinic, leading this game by 44 points. The umpires found a free kick, holding the ball, and it will be a free kick to Bullcreek Leeming. It'll come back to number 4 there in Rory Williams.
The Williams brothers have had a very good, strong year. The captain and Dylan are very good players, extremely good players.
And one goes there to Duffy, who goes inside 50, not his greatest kick though. And it's turned over. And Bassendean will look to try and rebound it out of defence now through Mulcahy. Here goes a short kick now, it goes to Gordon. Just waiting for the play to unfold. Not a lot to kick to, so has to go long down the line. Come off the boot, and there is that player once again in Duffy.
Yep.
He's looking forward to a pair of Archies now as he kicks it long into defence. 3-on-1. It is going to work out for Williams. Picks it up, and a fortuitous goal there for the captain in Dylan Williams. He's kicked 18 so far this year. That's his 19th, and puts an exclamation mark on this first half for Bullcreek Leeming. 9 goals for now 58 on the Sportal scoreboard. Bassendean 1 goal 2, and out to a margin of 50 points. 2.5 minutes left to go in this second quarter, and Dylan Williams, right place, right time.
Oh yes, well, good footballers do that, don't they?
Absolutely right. And look, it is good to see when you have sets of brothers playing together as well. And yeah, both of them look to be pretty handy footballers. And look, both been around the club for a while.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Starting to build their own little history.
Dynasty, yep, you're right.
As the umpire throws in, there is one of those players there in Warrior Williams now. They kick it deep inside 50. Dylan trying to get involved once again, but nice work by Tolly to handball it across. Goes across to Walker. He'll look to try and go the clearing kick now, but only gets as far as the play there from Bullcreek on the outer side. Chips back inboard and finds Overmars. There's a play coming past now in Jackie Drennan. Goes inside 50. Duffy couldn't quite take the mark. Picked up this time by White, who handballs out there. Makes a bit of hard work there for Babbage. And he's happy to see the ball go out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in 60 metres around from the Bullcreek Leeming goal. Look, as we get close to half-time now, Michael, look, I just want to thank you so much for being involved with us and coming up and saying g'day, sharing some of your story. Mate, great to hear that, obviously, with the Volunteer of the Award those 10 or so years ago now, and look, shows obviously your commitment to the club and footy in general. But look, thank you so much, and look, really appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day as well.
My pleasure.
Absolutely
Thank
right. And as we get close to half-time now, it is Bullcreek leading by 50 points. I think we'll have an opportunity to have a chat with the coach of the Bullcreek Leeming side at half-time. And look, as we get close to half-time now, we'll go out through a few of the last shout-outs now. Up the creek from the Coral Bay crew. Shout-out to Riley Dobbo, Ash and Kane from Paige Sutherland in Adelaide. And hi to Mr. Bards from Joni, Val and Kerry as well. So, look, thank you so much for all your shout-outs as we get very close to half-time again. So our Classic Clashes game out here at Beasley Reserve. And as we go to half-time now on the Sportal scoreboard, it is Bullcreek Leeming leading this contest 9 goals for 58. Bassendean 1-2, a margin of 50 points. We'll go to a quick break and we'll come back now. Hopefully have an interview with the coach of the Bullcreek Leeming side.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers naturally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people, they're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring, it is for everyone.
My name.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people, they're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring, it is for everyone.
And welcome back to our classic Clashes game out here at Beasley Reserve in Leeming. My name is Ward Harris and we're covering the Toyota B grade round 13 clash between Bullcreek, Leeming and Bassendean. And on the Sportal scoreboard at halftime, a dominant performance by the second place on the ladder Bullcreek Leeming side. 9 goals for 58. Bassendean 1 goal to 8, a margin of 50 points and been an absolute dominant display. And as we get ready for this third quarter, I'll tell you what, the coaching group at Bassendean, there must have been a lot said because they're only just running out onto the ground now as the Bullcreek Leeming players already standing in place, ready to go. Thank you to Kyle Hardingham for the interview at half time. Might have had a few technical difficulties there, but obviously he was pretty buoyant about the start from his side in that first half. Said Bassendean really tested him to start with, but look, they were able to try and get their procedures in place and end up putting 9 goals on the board in that half, and he was pretty happy with that as well. Thank you to our sponsors out here today for Classic Clashes: Premium Grains, Great Southern Fuels, Retrovision, Blue Diamond Machinery for the goal snag of the day, and look, we've seen a couple of crackers so far. Afgri for the mark of the day. My favourite, the Lobster Shack tackle of the day. But also thank you to Filming Footy and Dartfish for allowing us to bring this great production to you each and every week throughout this vast state of Western Australia. Third quarter action about to come forward. Ward Harris in commentary as the umpire throws the ball up, and Henderson able to knock it down for Bullcreek. No easy possessions there this time. Vader just goes the area off the ground there. Nice knock forward that time by Blissett. He said illegal disposal, and it is going to be a free kick. No, he's played a holding free kick and a good little chip kick inside 50. Nice spoil there by the Bullcreek Leeming defender. Picked up that time by Tickle. And we'll have a ball up once again on the 50 metre. Forward 50 for the Bassendean side as Vader takes that one out of the ruck, knocks it forward, takes it out. It's probably going to be holding the ball. No, taken high. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to come through to Bassendean. So we had the opportunity for a few people to sit down with us throughout the day today. Had the opportunity to chat to Simon Thomas, the president of the Bullcreek Leeming side in the first quarter. Had the old president Michael Bardley in the second quarter, and he even let us know that he was Volunteer of the Year in 2012. Got to go to the AFL Grand Final, and look, he was a great chat as well as Bassendean kick on goal, and it's just out to the left-hand side. And now joining me, we had the opportunity for a couple of 250 gamers today, which look, you don't see too often, and look, a big day for both these boys. And we've got Stevie Magic Maguire with us now. And Magic, how are you going, mate?
Feeling all part of those 250.
Is that right?
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Nah, mate, no worries. And look, great to have you sitting down with us today. And look, a nice 50-point win for the Resies boys. Be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, very good to get the job done. It's been a little while since we had our last win. So, yeah, firstly, great to get a good win and to celebrate myself and David Carruthers' 250th. was a fantastic win for the boys.
Oh, look, it was absolutely sensational. And look, we obviously got to see you boys coming on through the ground a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if we got vision of that, where the boys came on through the 250th banner. We'll see if we can find vision of that. Filmed it a little bit earlier and then obviously chaired off. What do days like this mean for yourself personally?
Yeah, really good. You get a little bit introspective days like today, thinking back over all the games you sort of played. But yeah, first and foremost, you just want to get the job done today, and we did that, which was great. And then was lucky enough to sneak forward towards the end of the game and kick a couple of goals, which was nice. So yeah, thanks to the coaching staff for letting me get forward. But no, really honoured to be part of a really good win, and yeah, to celebrate the 250th was great.
Excellent, and mate, good to hear, and always nice to kick a couple of snags in a milestone game there as well. And look, Nettie Brennan, he sits there and kicks his second for the game with Bullcreek Leeming, and look, there we go. There's the boys coming through there, and you and Davey Carruthers. Mate, good to see that support there from everyone there as well, and obviously Karen, a young one there with you as well.
Yeah, got my daughter through the banner, which is a really nice occasion for me. So I don't think she was too happy. I think she might have had a few tears, but yeah, for me it was really good, and got a little picture there at the end, which is great. Mate,
outstanding to see. And look, your footy journey, tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, well, started a long time ago now.
It sounds like that's going to be a long story for us.
Yeah. I had a few of the younger boys down at training on Thursday sort of asked me, when did you first come down to the club? And I had to have a think about it, and yeah, I think it was about 2009. And they said, "Oh, geez, I was in year 2 or year 3." And
always makes you feel like $1,000,000, doesn't it?
Yeah. So came down here around about that time, and been at the club ever since. And 250 games today. So
absolutely
really
huge.
Good. But good to see, obviously, where the club is at the moment, and Kyle's doing a really good job with the boys, and the league team, they're looking really strong.
Absolutely right, and the captain there in Dylan Williams with the ball just inside 50 now. He's already kicked one in that second quarter, been a pretty important player for the league side this year as the lights go on here. Dylan Williams will kick from about 45 metres. Distance not going to be a problem. Let's see accuracy. Distance was a problem and then touched on the line. He given it a little bit too much air. And a minus score on the Sportal scoreboard. Bullcreek Leeming 10-5, 65. Bassendean 1-2-8 and a margin of 57 points. And a really good game so far for the Bullcreek Leeming side. And obviously, so you started down at the club 2009, so if my maths is right, roughly about 15 years now, and 250, absolutely huge. You play juniors with Bullcreek Leeming as well?
Yeah, I did as well, so there's probably another 110, 20 odd there, so been down here for a very long time.
Yeah, and I was going to say that's why coming up those stairs, I could hear the body creaking away, and needed a bit of an adult beverage to just get you through after the game as well to keep teams going.
Yeah, always tastes a little bit better after a win as well.
Absolutely right. And look, Bullcreek Leeming, you've been here through, let's say, some of the good times and some of the more challenging times. What have been some of your best memories, I guess, as a team over the years?
Yeah, well, I think initially when I first started playing senior footy down here, it was part of a pretty strong period for the club, so I was lucky enough to sort of play a majority of my early days in the league team, and part of, unfortunately, a losing grand final, and then a couple of winning grand finals. So to see the club sort of progress sort of up into B grade, back down to C grade, luckily enough maintain our spot in C grade when it was looking a little bit dicey at times. Probably actually played a lot of footy against Bassendean, sort of followed them up and down the grades, so it's always a bit of a rivalry playing against these boys, but seen a lot of good times, seen some less good times, but I think, as I said before, what Kyle's doing with this group of boys, really, really well placed to potentially take the next step, which would be great for the club.
Absolutely right, and look, that's footy clubs, and you do see the up times and the down times as well. You mentioned Kyle, obviously, I think in his 4th season now, is it, Kyle?
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Look, what's been the key difference, or what's probably his messaging that you think has really pushed the club in a I'm not going to necessarily in the right direction, a different direction, but I know we will say the right direction. What's probably pushed the club that way? Yeah,
I think it's just the professionalism that he brings. Obviously, his AFL experience means a lot, sort of at this grassroots sort of level, and just the minimum standard he expects of the boys, and the structures and things like that he's brought to the club, and the demands that he expects of the boys. Just is lifted the bar a little bit, and this group of boys that we're seeing out here today, they've risen to that sort of standard, and it's non-negotiable now.
Look, absolutely right, and that kind of professionalism that they can sit there and bring in makes a massive difference. And a 3rd goal on the board for Kane Fallow. He's been a pretty handy player right throughout the year. He'd kicked 12 leading into this game. He's kicked 3 for the game, going to 15, and got some pretty handy forwards right the way across. I've noticed the young fella there in Ethan Duffy, a new player to the club this year. He's obviously brought a little bit in. Yeah,
obviously, I haven't seen a heap of him, to be honest, but he came with big raps down to the club, and I think, you can see it from what he's done out on game day. He's just got an absolute dynamite leg on him, and he's popping up the goals everywhere. And then you've got Kane and Riley Sutherland down there as well, and then the captain Dill Williams. It's a very potent forward line. If the big boys aren't getting it done, there's a plethora of young boys, smaller boys, getting out their feet and doing the right thing.
Absolutely right, and I think probably I've had an opportunity to watch a lot of footy across the grades in the Perth Footy League. I think it's generally those smaller forwards that really seem to cause the damage as well, especially if you can get that quick ball movement in.
Yep.
That's what puts you in good stead. You normally always end up with teams with one real big target, and we see that with, I think there's a couple up at Whitford's. We see them throughout the obviously A grade as well.
Yep.
Those guys that can make a big difference.
Yep.
So yourself today, 250.
Yep.
300.
I don't think so, mate.
No, you reckon you're getting to that stage now?
Yep. So, like I said, I'm feeling all of the 250 right at this second. So every year it just gets a little bit harder and harder, and especially on cold days like today, just you wake up and you're like, righto, got to front up and get the job done. But like I said, the win was great. 300 probably not.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, once again, massive congratulations to yourself on that 250th today. I know that would have been a special moment for you and David Carruthers, who I dare say you've spent a fair bit of time playing with throughout the years. Any special memories for you guys specifically throughout the years, or anything you can share on the field or off the field?
I was going to say mostly off the field with David. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it or not. No, so he's a year older than me. Like myself, played all of his junior footy down here, so know him really well. It was special to run out with him. We played a heap of footy together across a whole bunch of grades, and we'll cherish today and we'll have a good night tonight. He's a very good man off the field, David, so I'm expecting him to be in very good form.
Gotcha. So you suggesting he might be best on this evening?
If he's not, he'll give it a bloody good nudge.
Absolutely right, and that's what we'd like to hear, mate. Look, I won't hold you much longer because I know you've got a couple of beverages to go and drink, and I know it's going to take you a while to get down those stairs as well. But look, any shout-outs that you'd like to do, or anyone you'd like to say g'day to, I guess, on this special day?
I know I've been told to give him a shout-out as well. So Billy Drennan, father of Jack, who's number 9, not sure where he is. He's probably on the bench as per usual, but I think he's watching up from where is he? Horse Creek or something like that.
Fitzroy Crossing. I've actually had a text from Billy Drennan as well.
Have you? There you go. Yep. So no, I got the word through this morning to give him a shout out. So Billy, how you going? Where's Jack? He's plodding along. He's looking slow. Yeah, he's not guarding.
He's not anywhere near the footy at the moment.
Yep. So Billy, good for you. And Tim Dawson as well, down in Albany. He's a big supporter of the club and a sponsor as well. And I know Timmy, if he could be up here, would be down here sinking a few wild turkeys. But he's down in Albany at the moment. And that's probably it from me in terms of the shout-outs.
No, fair enough. Look, mate, thank you once again. Anyone else that does want to get involved, 0408 603 269. It's been great having people involved today. Thank you so much for the shout-out messages. Look, we always appreciate the feedback and letting us know where you're listening from as well. But look, Magic, mate, once again, congratulations on the 250th. Thanks so much for spending some time out there, and look, best of luck for the Bullcreek boys and the rest of the season as well.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Good on you. Thanks heaps, Magic. Steve Maguire there on his 250th, and great having him involved. And look, a big performance by the Bullcreek Leeming boys so far. 63-point leaders at the moment on the Sportal scoreboard, and been an absolutely complete performance by them today. As the umpire throws the ball up once again, 30 metres out from the Bullcreek goal. Bassendean try to clear through. Gordon snaps around his body. And that is an absolute contender for the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day. An absolute beauty there. Snapping it around the corner. I think it might have been Tommy Marshall. He's kicked his first of the day. And on the Sportal scoreboard, Bullcreek Leeming increase their lead at 12-6-78. Bassendean 1-3-9, and that's now blown out to a margin of 69 points. And as we have the president in Simon Thomas join us once again. Look, Prez, since you left us and went downstairs, the boys have gone absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, they've done a great job, haven't they? And I'm bringing the weather with me as well, mate. I just thought I'd better let you know that next 5 minutes it's going to start raining fairly reasonably.
Okay.
So hopefully that doesn't dull the game down too much.
Oh, and absolutely. Look, that's probably the key reason why you've jumped upstairs, just so you can jump undercover onto this beautiful van that we have, for our classic clashes, and proudly sponsored by Dartfish Filming Footy Premium Grains. And we thank you so much for your sponsorship right throughout the year, as Bassendean go and kick inside 50 there. Ball's going to come out there. Nice shepherd there by the Bassendean boys. Steps inside. Nice tackle there. Goes back to Modica. He kicks on goal, but it's going to be way out to the left-hand side and out of bounds on the full. And it'll be Donks that'll sit there and try and kick it back in for the Bullcreek Leeming side. And we'll get a chance to have a chat with Kyle Hardingham at half-time, and look, just an absolute ripper. I can see why, obviously, he gets the support of the club, and look why he's into his fourth year of coaching as well.
Yeah, mate. Look, he's been an absolute star for us over the last 4 years, and I've been having some talks with him over the last couple of weeks, and we're hoping to sign him again for another couple of years. Very happy with where we are, and look where we're going as a club. And as the head coach, he's a very big part of the success we're having on the field and probably off the field to a certain extent as well.
Yeah, look, and I have to admit, having a chat to Magic there before, and then even your ex-president there, in Michael Bards, he look, they all obviously speak really glowingly of the influence that Kyle's had on the footy club, and yeah, look, you can really see it on the field as well. A 69-point lead at the moment, and it's just proven to be a really good day for the Bullcreek Leeming side so far. There's Bassendean through Daniel Sharp. Has a free kick there, and he's going to kick from about 45 metres out. It's going to be a slight angle. We've had a couple of shots on goal from out and that side of the ground so far, but none gone through at this point. So Sharp, he'll kick from probably about 47, 48 metres out. Gets right, quite close to the man on the mark. Distance not an issue. Accuracy is, and it goes out to the left-hand side. Another minor score on the board. And on the Sportal scoreboard, it is Bullcreek Leeming leaving this contest by 68 points. They'll look to try and bring the ball in once again. Ball seems to be holding up a little bit in that breeze at the moment. A good mark taken. It's Curtis James with ball in hand now. So James will look to try and kick, and that breeze definitely starting to play a part. Henderson under the ball there, but it's a good pick up that time by Dylan Williams. He looks to flick the ball forward now, and they'll go inside 50. Doesn't quite reach, but it does reach Duffy. He's been pretty good. Tells the player to stay. Play keeps going there. Snaps around his body. Sullivan was the target. Doesn't quite get there, and it's picked up by Kelly. Good pressure there from behind. Nice tackle there by Peake. Ball flips out. Can they sit there and put another score on the board? They're looking to go backwards now to come forwards through the number 13 there in Martin. Doesn't quite clear the congestion now. Good pressure by Bullcreek Leeming. Vader, he's tackled. Ball spits out. Going to be picked up this time by Cusack. Kicks an absolute beauty of a goal in the second quarter. And it will be a free kick. And it is going to come back to Cameron Hill from Bassendean for a legal disposal. And he'll look to try and switch it out now through Martin. Martin decides to go back the other way. Finds Higgins. Been one of the better players for Bassendean today. I'll tell you what, he's ended up with a lot of footy in his back half at the moment. A good tackle there by Williams. Holds him up. And we'll have a ball up 45 from home. Maybe unlucky not to get a free kick there, Dill Williams.
Yeah, I think he was a little, but we'll take it.
So the umpire throws up once again. Henderson just knocks it forward there. Sutherland wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Gains a few metres, and we'll have a ball up 35 metres out. So after a good start from Bassendean in this game, it's been all Bullcreek Leeming. Henderson tried to take out of the ruck, kicked it forward. Duffy finds himself with the ball. Could have been pulled down. Umpire says no. And we'll have another ball up 40 metres out from the Bullcreek Leeming goal. Conditions are starting to get dark. Lights are on. And hopefully this weather stays away.
Stays away, yeah. We've been very fortunate. The council towards the end of last year, we got ourselves a new set of lights, which is gave us the opportunity to play under lights as well. We've only had the one game so far this year under lights, but it's gives another dimension to the club. Opportunity to have games under lights is a lot of fun.
Oh, look, it is always a lot of fun with the ball under lights there, and now it goes inside 50.
Nope.
And touched through, and I thought he was going to absolutely jag on there, and I think was that our man from a bit early today, Neddy Brennan, possibly?
I think it was.
Yeah, it might have been. He's ended up kicking two so far, and he's been pretty happy, Neddy Brennan, sorry, as they look to try and bring the ball out. It's a great kick there, marked by Jai Martin. And obviously you mentioned the lights, and they look absolutely fabulous out here. I heard on the rumour mill as well, we might be having some additions to the club rooms possibly in the near future. Anything happening there?
Yeah, look, we are. We've been in discussions. I've got a couple of people sort of working in the background a little bit for me to try and get some funds together so that we can do some renovations and bits and pieces to the clubhouse. We've only got the two change rooms at the moment, and as you might be aware, we've now got 2 ladies teams as well as our 4 men's teams, and with that in mind, we really needed a couple of extra change rooms, and so we've been speaking to the council, who's put some money towards it already promised some this financial year, and we're also looking at the state and federal governments to help us out.
Excellent.
That was out on the full.
That definitely was out on the full. And I guess as you mentioned there with the 2 women's sides and having the 6 sides in, I guess in total, is that where the ability for some extra funding kind of comes from, the participation numbers, having male and female as well?
Yeah, look, the club's grown significantly, and with that in mind, with the 2 ladies clubs, with the numbers that we've got around the place, and on top of that, we do have separate clubs, but we have a Bullcreek Leeming junior football club as well, and that's substantial. They've got 23, 24 teams. I think it could be more than that, and so yeah, it's really time. Some of the club rooms and bits and pieces around the state aren't probably up to scratch these days, just purely because of the fact that we're not women friendly. We don't have those extra change rooms and bits and pieces that we need. We're having a women's team trying to get changed in a change room while men's and Colts teams are coming through at the same time. So we need to have that ability to have change rooms for both men and women. If we can get 2 sets of change rooms, it means we've always got that. We can have more games here without that being an issue.
Oh, look, and I think that is so important. I noticed I had my days at West Perth Swans and East Perth as well, and even then that was a massive issue for us as we started to have the Waffle W teams come in and even the Rogers Cups, and trying to have those separate change rooms and the logistical things of sometimes trying to have players coming in and out of change rooms, it was an absolute nightmare sometimes. So the focus and the ability to sit there and expand club change rooms and facilities, look, is so important going forward, and I think that's going to help with participation numbers where people coming in, they feel comfortable, which is what they want to do, and it obviously helps them stick around a lot longer as well.
It does, and look, we had the situation last year where, and we sort of laugh about it a bit now, but at the time it was quite a serious thing in that we had one of the ladies, after the ladies game, we had she was in having a shower, the Colts were out on the ground, and we had a couple of the boys go into the change rooms to go to the toilet, only to find they were standing at the urinal while at the same time she was in a shower bay. And so fortunately she heard one of the voices, knew who it was, and sort of said, hey, can you guys leave for a minute while I get out of the shower? So that changeover causes a bit of a problem. So look, the council's been very good in that they've come to the party and sort of saying, yeah, look, we're prepared to put some funding to it. State and federal election next year, and we've got people, both on both sides of the political side of things that are talking to us from a point of view of saying, yeah, look, we'll look at doing some funding for you.
Excellent, and look, that's great to hear. And with almost 30 teams across from the the senior club and the junior club. Look, please support the Bullcreek Leeming side. Let's get some funding here. Let's get these facilities updated and have facilities that will suit a club of this size. And the umpires found a free kick there, and it is going to come back. Free kick against Cam Tolley, or Connor Tolley, I should say. It'll be Rory Williams.
Rory Williams, yep.
With ball in hand. Nice little chip kick. In no real rush now to move the ball forward. Good handball there from
Donker.
Brennan. Drops one he should have taken. He decides to power through too, though. Goes inside 50. Duffy will fly. Goes over the top. Babbage looks to pick it up now and rebounds out. And goes the long left foot kick.
Donker.
And Donks almost able to take a mark. Decides to just boot it off the ground. It's turnover and goes to Tolley. He chips it now. Player there in Tickle decided to go.
Dearie me.
Didn't know he was there. And that's going to be 50. And I'll tell you what, just purely from some unawareness, he's given away a 50 and the free kick inside 50 now.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I'm part of the Bullcreek side, but I thought he was a little unlucky there as well. The player came in from the side to tackle him as I don't know the play on had actually been called, so he was very lucky.
So a free kick
unlucky
there.
From the Bassendean side.
Absolutely right. Free kick to, I think it was Blake McCulloch.
I think it might be.
Hasn't hit the scoreboard so far today, and he will be absolutely licking his lips. 35 metres out, directly in front. Decides to kick it from a bit further, and why not kick it? And he's hit the upright. A minor score. So on the Sport or scoreboard, 12 goals, 880. Bassendean 1 goal for a margin of 70 points. And after starting the game with 128%, it's definitely going to give them a bit of a bump and solidify their place in the top 2 today. As Babbage looks to play on now, out of defence. Good long kick once again, and I'll tell you what, Hudson Babbage, he's probably got to have one of the longest legs in the B-grade competition. And they look to chip it back, coming back the other way now to Bullcreek Leeming. Good mark on the outer side. Chips it down the line once again. So Last minute of play in this third quarter. He'll just pump it long now. Pack of players forms. No one able to take the mark. Another look to handball it backwards now. Snaps around his body, does Martin. And finds a player by himself 45 metres from home. And Sharp says, let's just calm it down a little bit now. So looking to slowly bring it out of defence. 70 metres out from his own goal. Kicks it through the middle of the ground. Donks goes up. Could have had his arms chopped. Umpire waves his arms, says, no, son, you'll be okay. And a player jumped on straight away. 3 Bassendean players, I reckon, on the bottom of that one. And we will have a ball up just right side of centre. Down here at Beasley Reserve as we get close to three-quarter time, and it is the Bullcreek Leeming side leading by 70 points. And look, Simon, what do you reckon Kyle's message is going to be at three-quarter time?
Oh, look, I think, to be honest, it's going to be one of just keep on going. I think we've got to put the pedal down and just keep on playing our game of footy and stretch that margin if we can. What I will say is come into the fourth quarter, looking forward to Gary Carruthers coming through and having a chat to you. Gary is the father of David Crockett Carruthers, who played his 250th today. Gary's been around the club for a long time, and he was instrumental in starting our ladies team, which is now 2 teams. So he's a cracker of a fella who'll you'll have a good time talking to.
Excellent. Thank you again for joining us, Simon. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Gary Carruthers and celebrating the 250th of Davey. See you on the other side.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service, and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
And welcome back to our Classic Clashes game out here at Beasley Reserve in Leeming. I'll tell you what, it's a cold one. I've got a feeling that weather is not far away now. And in this Toyota B grade round 13 clash, it is Bullcreek Leeming leading on the Sportal scoreboard. And they lead this clash 12 goals, 880 to Bassendean 1-4-10. And after a pretty spirited start by the Bassendean side, it has been absolutely all Bullcreek Leeming from about the halfway point of that first quarter. Look, thank you so much to everyone that's joined me today. We had Simon Thomas, the president, in the first quarter. We had Michael Bards, the ex-president, in the second quarter. And one of the 250 gamers that played in the reserves today in Magic, he jumped on, spent a bit of time with us, and look, massive shout out to him, and it was really good to see Stevie Maguire there. And look, now in the fourth quarter, I'm joined by the father of the other 250 game in Davey Carruthers, and I've got Gary. Gary, how have you found the day so far today, mate?
Yeah, it's been a good day. It's for the Creek. The Colts had a good win against them, and then the reserves got one for the boys playing their 250th, and this looks like we'll get the 3 wins in. So yeah, been a great day for the club.
Absolutely, it's been a great day, and look, I'm sure it would have been a proud day for yourself as a dad as well, watching the young fella go out with a banner with his mate in Stevie Maguire as well. And days like this, they don't come along that often. What do you think it means to a young guy getting to play 250 games for the one club?
Yeah, for Dave, he's been a one club player and he's been with us. He had his junior football and then come through, and he just loves the club. He loves the players around the club. He's taken on in the last 2 years. He coaches the B grade women's comp, so he's just a Bullcreek player through and through, and I think he's well respected by all the players. I know certainly the girls have a lot of respect for him and belief in him. So it'd be great for him. He'll look back at after he's finished playing and go, yeah, this was memorable.
Yeah, just special memories, and always good to share those things with family and friends as well. And look, you mentioned obviously David's involvement with the women's side. I know they've only had him, I think, on board for about 4 years now, and they've crept up slowly through the grades. Now in B grade, yourself had a little bit of involvement there. Yep. Look, how do you think that's changed the landscape of the Creek over the years? It's
certainly changed the club as a whole, and really started when Kyle Hardingham came on board as our senior coach. He was keen to get a women's side up, and it was very instrumental. I was fortunate that, along with Bards, was the first coach for the women's side. So I coached the first 2 years, and we started in C3, played finals but didn't make the grand final, went to C2, and then Dave was my assistant coach. So the next year I handed over to him, and he's had the last 2 years. And this year was the first year we've had the second women's side, so I came on board and gave him a hand as well. And it's been great to see him develop as a coach and as a player. And his knowledge of football is, he's played a lot of football, and he's very knowledgeable and has the trust of him. So it's certainly changed the landscape of the Bullcreek Leeming Football Club, and I think most clubs now that have women's teams would feel the same.
Yeah, look, and I can't agree with you anymore. I've probably seen that as we have the opportunity to go around and meet with different clubs there, having the ladies' teams, and even as they keep developing as well, just the different feeling around the club and how it changed the landscape. It's such a positive thing. Even having a chat to Simon, the president, a little bit earlier about possibly from changes to facilities as well, and the ability to keep making club rooms bigger and better, and let's say more friendly for everybody. Look, it's going to be a big thing for the footy club going forward.
And that's our biggest challenge at the moment, is getting a set of change rooms for the women. It's not ideal, the current situation we have, and I know the council have spoken about doing some stuff, but in my eyes they're not working quickly enough. Not only do we have 2 senior women's sides, I think there's at least 2 if not 3 junior
with the
girls.
junior girls as well. Yep.
So we definitely need a set of change rooms for the women, instead of what we currently have. And a lot of the other clubs are well in advance of where we are in that. But it'd be great for our bunch of ladies and junior footballers to have our own facility for sure.
Yeah, look, and we know that's going to be probably the standard going forward as well. I think it is taking a little bit longer, and probably people have been surprised about how well or how quickly the women's game has grown. And look, you would have seen it from the one team in 4 years ago. A lot of the time it's not through advertising or anything like that. It's the girls going, hey, do you want to come and play? And it snowballs so quick, doesn't it?
It does. We've all the new ladies that have come down because our current players they're friends of our current players, or they know of them, and they've invited them in. And the good thing about Bullcreek is we're very friendly, very positive club in that respect, and all the new girls that have come in have really found this an enjoyable experience. So it's been fantastic for their football and for the club as a whole. And
look, great to see them having some success and working through into B grade this year, which is absolutely huge for the club. Obviously, look, yourself, your involvement in footy over the years, whereabouts did you kind of start, and what's been your story?
So I've probably coached for in excess of 40 years, but we moved back from Tasmania to Perth in 2000. I coached junior football for 2 or 3 years, then went to East Fremantle as an assistant coach with the Colts, then came back to the Creek and coached the senior side here for a couple of years. Then I went and coached a couple of other clubs, Gosnells and Bibra Lakes, and then I came back here, and then got talked into coaching the women's, which I wasn't sure about to start with, but it was fantastic, to be perfectly honest. Some of the best years I've enjoyed coaching, because the women want to listen.
Yeah, and look, I have to jump in. That's probably one common thing I've seen with a lot of, coaches that have coached senior men's sides or Colt sides over the years. It's probably been their surprise in the willingness of the players to sit there and learn and grow. That really makes a lot of difference there. So
it's huge when you see them go out and try and do the things that you're putting on a training, and you see them try and execute in a game. That's as a coach, that's all you can ask. I first thought of women's football as Auskick for adults, which in our first year it was. Show them how to hold a ball, handball, mark, kick, and then to watch them, this year where they're playing B grade football at a good standard, where they understand structure, they understand the basics of the game, has been a tremendous. And most clubs would have had the same sort of growth.
Yeah, look, and it is a really good feeling just watching that skill development. And I spent a lot of my time through, let's say, Waffle Colts and that kind of level, and you see even the skill level at that, and it translates right the way across. Just seeing development in players is probably what I get the actual biggest buzz in football out of. And it sounds like you're probably very, very similar as well.
Absolutely.
As Bullcreek go back inside 50 once again, and this player's been very busy in Ethan Duffy today. He's already kicked 3. And he'll be looking to try and kick his 4th and try and put his name up for the Archie's Thongs Player of the Day. As he kicks from about 40 metres out and just to the right-hand side on that one, a minor blemish. And on the Sportal scoreboard, 13 goals, 987. Bassendean 1 for 10, out to a margin of 77 points. Look, obviously we came into this game today, Gary, knowing that, look, Bassendean probably struggling a little bit this year, but traditionally always been good contest between these two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. These two clubs have had some great rivalry over the years, and it's probably only more so last year and this year where last year we probably halved it, this year we've been on top. But as you say, if you lose 15 players from your senior list, most teams are going to struggle, and it's that rebuilding and regrowth that's now becomes the hard part for any club.
And look, the Bullcreek side, you sound like a club. Obviously, we see with Magic there with 250 and Davey with 250 day. Just seem to develop a lot of your players right throughout the group. You end up with a couple of players coming in, but it's been that probably the growth from within that's been the big thing for the club.
Our link with our juniors, which hasn't always been fantastic, but it's always been good. We've always had juniors come up and, back when I was back in 2000, we had 2 and 3 16 and 17-year-olds teams, and now, I think they've got 2 this year, or I think it's 2 this year or last year. So the continued through has been exceptional for the club, and there's a lot of homegrown talent out in the park today.
And that makes an absolutely massive difference, and that's how probably you have your successful clubs continue to keep going on from probably the northern board and around the North Beach kind of way, where you see that kind of talent that's able to come through. And even my young fellow who plays Year 9s, he's playing against a couple of North Beach sides in Year 9s that they're 1 and 2, and then the rest are way underneath them, unfortunately. And it's good to see strong clubs that sit there and able to keep pushing through their juniors.
Yeah, that's the challenge for junior football at the moment, is trying to maintain that competition at that 14 to 17 level. You obviously have your development squads, but they tend to divide the good from the ordinary. The ordinary go, well, I'm not a show, so they tend to fall away rather than stick at it. And then you come to Amos, and you come to Amos to play with your mates. And then as you go up through the grades, you go, like these guys now are dead set keen on trying to win the premiership, trying to get to A grade, because and they work out at their task now.
Absolutely right, and we see some talent rolling through here as well. There's a lot of guys that have been on Waffle list, whether it's Colts or even up to senior lists as well, that are playing in both of these sides at the moment. And it's good when you see that talent filter back to their junior clubs, or which is now their amateur clubs, and come back and support the clubs that helped them as juniors.
Yeah, well, Kyle Hardingham, classic example. He's gone all the way up Essendon, started his footy here, and he's come back and he's been, as I said, he's been huge. The last 3 or 4 years for this club been huge, but there are other players out there. Fraser, who went off injured a bit earlier, young Riley, who was run around here in diapers when his dad and that was playing, that have stayed around the club, and that's been the great part about this club. And now the women just make it more. It's come back to a family club, which is fantastic.
And great to see Nettie Brennan there with his 3rd goal of the day. And I'll tell you what, that was another one of those contenders for the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day from a really tight angle. No one knew it actually went through, and the goal umpire kind of surprised us with that one. But look, I reckon he'll take that 3 on the board for Ned Brennan. And look, another contender for the Archie's player of the day. The beautiful Archie's thongs and slides, and we'll have the opportunity to present those at the end of the game as well. We've had a couple of players kick bags of 3 so far, and look, been a pretty good day for the club.
Our big ruck's been sensational, Goose.
Yeah, big. What is it? Yeah, big. Daniel Henderson, Goose, is it? That's his nickname?
Goose,
Goosey, yeah, he's been very, very good today as well. So, another local boy, is he?
Yeah, he started his junior with us, went away for a year or 2 down south, went down towards Mount Barker, I think, or Albany for a year or 2, but has come back again since sort of Cole's been here. And he's worked tirelessly at his game, and he's a pretty handy golfer, but he just sticks at football and loves being around the club.
Excellent, and been a very dominant player. Another one up in line for the Archie Songs. But I'll tell you what, Nettie Brennan going back to kick his 4th goal of the game, and we had Simon Thomas on early in the game, and he marked one about 40 metres out, and I said, how do you reckon he's going to go? And he went, I don't know, because he does that, unfortunately. But
there's a bit of that.
He'll be pretty happy with these 3 goals on the board today, and it's been a pretty good target right the way across the down.
Yeah, one of those tools, because normally our small forward line has been very effective. We don't tend to end up with a lot of tools in there, so our smalls have been very good this year. But having him there when he gets back from, I think he's at FIFO a fair bit, and having him around is very handy for us.
Yeah, look, I noticed your 3 leading goal scorers in, I guess, Dill Williams and Ethan Duffy. Good smalls there, and Kane Fallow's been very good today as well. So your 3 leading goal scorers always all been very dangerous this time. And look, it shows what you need at this level. As Bullcreek try and push the ball through, Donks handballs it off, and the ball goes inside 50 there. Doesn't quite get there. Sutherland, and a good mark there by Babbage. You look to switch the ball, and it's a good kick. It's going to set up all right for Gordon. You look to handball off now and does it well. And just waiting for the play to unfold now. Kicks up the line. Not the greatest kick. It's going to work out all right. Picked up this time by White. So White steps inboard. Kick down the line there. And a good mark out on the chest. This time by Hill. So Hill looks to play on. Kicks long inside 50. No one to kick to from Bassendean. Player goes floating across there, and he's going to pick it up this time. Is Joshy Cano? No, that's actually Blakey McCulloch. So McCulloch went across to Cano. He flicks it off. Goes to Rory Williams. He steps back inboard. Goes a nice little chip kick. And it's marked by Tommy Marshall. So the best and fairest winner from last year goes across to Henderson. Goose just takes it with 1 mitt. Handballs it on. And they'll look to go inside 50 once again. Good kick inside. And there is the big fella once again. And champagne footy from the Bullcreek side there.
Yeah, and it's the drills they work at. This sort of stuff they do time in, time out. Their training has been very good. But their structure is now, in my opinion, is why they win a lot of the games. They just have that structure now that gets them through. So some good footy, playing some really great footy this year.
Absolutely right. And I did like there by Ned Brennan. He decided, look, I'm not going to go through my usual run-up. I'm just going to sit there, step through it, kick it. And I'll tell you what, that was a better result there. So, look, well done to him. And remember, if you do want to get involved in flicking us a message, 0408 603 269. It's been great to hear from a lot of you throughout the day. Thank you to our sponsors there in Premium Grains, Great Southern Fuels, Retrovision, and our different plays of the day. Our Blue Diamond Machinery, goal of the day. And look, we've seen some absolute crackers throughout. AFGRI, mark of the day. I'm still waiting to see a bit of a hang. And my favourite, the Lobster Shack, tackle of the day. Thanks again to Filming Footy and Dartfish for allowing us to put in this production, and a big shout out to some of the sponsors from Bullcreek Leeming as well, in the West Australian, thewest.com.au, and my favourite of them all, Marco's Fussy Meats, with some of the best meat pies and the best jalapeno and cheese sausage roll I've ever had in my life, as Bassendean look to clear the ball out of the middle now. Still willing to go, which is good to see. Bliss calling for the ball, as is Sharp, and decides to go the long 45 now, and a good mark going across the front of that pack that time by James. So Curtis James decides to go the long 45 now.
Goose.
And marks by the big fella in Goose. Drops that one. Umpire says play on. Tries the handball back inboard. And it works out all right. It's going to come back inside 50 there through Overmars. Turns the ball over. And they'll look to try and bring it out now through Bassendean and Tolley. He handballs on now. Babbage will look to try and bring the ball up the line. Decides to handball over the top, and here come Bassendean on the outer side now. Steps inside there, just trying to handball through this one. It's going to work out all right, but it has to go backwards now to look at going forwards. Handballs back inboard, goes to Modica. He looks to go backwards now, and they'll switch the ball and finds Higgins. So Higgins goes back to Gordon. He's running off half-back. He'll look to go inside 50. Not a great kick, comes off the side of the boot. And Bullcreek Leeming will look to mop up now through Brennan. He handballs back inboard. The ball's been turned over. Vader tackled by 3 players. And we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the Bassendean goal.
It's just that finish for Bassendean, isn't it? They have good passage through, and it's just that final kick entry into 50 that's cost them a lot today.
So a bit of work to do there for the Bassendean side, and unfortunately hasn't been quite their year. Sitting 1 win, 11 losses, and it will be a 12th loss today at the bottom of the B grade ladder. But look, don't take anything away from Bullcreek Leeming. Been a good season for them. They'll be pretty happy with that 11th win, and most importantly for them as well, increases their percentage. Started the day at 128%, and that'll give them a nice little kick along as we get to the last few games of the Toyota B grade season. And Gordon goes back inside 50, finds a play all by himself, and that play is Benny Blissett, and he marks about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Obviously with the 250th tonight, much planned for the family, I guess, celebrating that down at the club or doing something?
No, we'll be at the club with the boys, both Magic and Crockett. They'll celebrate together, and I'm sure they'll get a few beers down their way, supplied by their teammates. So we'll just have a good night where we'll celebrate 3 wins and celebrate their milestones, and send them off with a good win.
Excellent, great to hear. And obviously Crockett there with his 250th. Well, I had a chat with Magic and I said, mate, 300? And he went, Mate, I struggle to get up the stairs. I've had a beer basically to allow me to get up the stairs, and it's going to be another 3 getting down. David, probably the same way?
Yeah, Crockett's struggled to get to 250 in fairness to him. He doesn't get chance to train as much with training the girls, and he's running his own business, and his body's just not quite where it needs to be. So yeah, all things equal, I think this will be his last crack at it. He's a life member of the club, which he thinks is fantastic.
Yep.
And yeah,
It's huge.
It is.
Yeah. Look, massive shout out to him, and thank you to all of you for your involvement in the club. And look, that's probably one of the biggest things that I enjoy each and every week is getting out, meeting some of the personalities, hearing the stories, and hearing what brings people to the footy each and every week. So, look, I'll let you jump downstairs and enjoy the rest of the game. Look, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Gary, and look, best of luck for the rest of the season and the game as well.
Mate. Thanks very much.
Good on you. Cheers. Yep. Gary Carruthers there, father of Davy Crockett Carruthers, one of the 250ths today down at Bullcreek, Leeming. Look, a massive day for the club. Either sport or scoreboard, 6 minutes left to go in this contest, and it's been a dominant performance. 15 goals, 10, 100. Bassendean, 1 goal, 5, 11. An absolute clinic put on by Kyle Hardingham's boys, and they'll sit there and celebrate pretty hard tonight for the two boys at 250ths. As we trickle down to the later stages of this game now, and the weather is definitely starting to come in now. Remember, at the end of the game, don't go too far away. We'll have our Archie's player of the day. We have a few players in the mix. You've got Kane Fellows. He's been pretty handy out there today. Dylan Williams, another player that's played well, the captain. I've liked the work of Ethan Duffy. Eddie Brennan's kicked 4, and the big fellow there in Daniel Goose Henderson. He's led absolutely beautifully in the ruck all day as well. So a few players to sit there and pick from the Bullcreek side. There's been some good players from Bassendean there as well. I've liked the work of Babbage. I thought the captain there in Kelly has been pretty handy as well. Sharps ended up with a bit of the footy, and Vader's tried pretty hard in the ruck. Tickle kicked a pretty good goal, the only goal for the Bassendean side. And some few handy players as well for Bassendean. But look, the Archie's player of the day definitely have to come from the winning side there in Bullcreek, Leeming. And we'll hopefully see if we can get the coach there in Kyle Hardingham as well at the end of the game. As we tick down to the last 4 minutes or so in this game. As the umpire goes to ball it up once again. 25 metres out from the Bassendean goal. Good knock forward this time. Kicks it off the ground. I'll tell you what, that is the Blue Diamond goal of the day. An absolute belter of a goal there from Cameron Hill. He's kicked that off the deck. What's the umpire going to say here? A bit of feedback there. I'll tell you what, they're going to celebrate that goal, and I think the Bullcreek Leeming boys have pulled him back in and said, hold on there, son. You are going to lose this game by about 80 odd points. But I'll tell you what, that's about as good as it gets. And well done to Cam Hill. I'm calling that one now. That is the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day. And on a tough day for the Bassendean side, there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel there. So do yourself a favour. Look at the replay of that one a little bit later today. And well done to Cam Hill there. As the umpire brings the ball back to the middle of the ground once again. Henderson been absolutely sensational in the ruck all day. Tries to handball off now, and ball just getting a bit slippy now as they kick the ball around the body now. Good pick up that time by the number 18 for Bullcreek Leeming, and Bassendean will look to try and clear it out of defence now. Looks to play on. And Tolly's been pretty good. Doesn't want to bounce the ball now as conditions getting as wet as they are. Up and under kick inside 50. Players will sit there and fly at it. Tries to go 1-2 at it. Was James. Couldn't quite pick up the mark. And Bassendean will try and sneak another one late. Players jump on top. And we will have a ball up right on the defensive 50 for the Bullcreek Leeming side. On the Sportal scoreboard, they lead this contest. 15 goals, 10. Cracking the 100 to Bassendean. 2 goals, 5, 17. Cam Hill kicking the last goal, the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day. And a well-needed goal for the Bassendean side as they look to try and push inside 50 now. Not a great kick inside 50 there. It's going to be a ricocheted ball there, picked up by Tolly. Could have been held without it. Tries to go and have a follow-up tackle. No easy ball out there within the last couple of minutes. Handball's backward now. Big clearing kick and up and under kick. Duffy pushes the player away. Umpire happy with that one. And Duffy will look to try and go now. Just spirals one inside 50. I'll tell you what, that is a contender for the AFCI mark of the day. A great mark under tough conditions there by Fallows. He'll be sitting there going back to try and kick his 4th goal of the game. And put that final exclamation mark on this victory for Bullcreek Leeming. So goes through his run out now. He'll kick from about 45 metres out. Goes round on a slight angle. It's going to go slightly right, is it? No, it's not. Straight through the middle. And 4 goals on the board now for Kane Fallows. And he also has to be another contender for that Archie's Player of the Day. Been an absolute dominant player for the Bullcreek Leeming side. And with 1 minute left to go in this contest on the Sportal scoreboard, it is Bullcreek Leeming leading this contest 16 goals 10, 106. And Bassendean 2 goals 5, 17. Back out to a margin of 89 points. And Bullcreek Leeming will looking to try and push this form for the rest of the season as they set themselves up for a real tilt at a premiership in B grade, but even pushing up to A grade in 2025. As the umpire throws the ball up once again. It was knocked down by Henderson, but Bassendean able to bring it out, and Monica slips over there. And that is all she wrote out at Beasley Reserve. Our Classic Clashes game proudly sponsored by our major partner in Great Southern Fuels and our premium grains for grassroot greats. Thank you so much to everyone that's been involved today, but it has been Bullcreek Leeming just too good over Bassendean. Final score on the Sportal scoreboard. Bullcreek Leeming 16 goals 10, 106. And Bassendean 2 goals 5, 17. A final margin of 89 points. And an absolute dominant performance. And look, we'll go through the goal scorers now. And a couple of players there with 4. Kane Hallows, he kicked 4, as did Ned Brennan as well. Ethan Duffy, he kicked 3. And then the rest all singles. The captain Ian Dylan Williams, he kicked 1. Ethan Cusack kicked a contender for the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day. Tommy Marshall kicked 1. And the last 2, the big fella there in Daniel Henderson, who was absolutely sensational in the ruck all day for Bullcreek Leeming. Just 2 single goal scorers for Bassendean. Brody Tickle kicked 1, but it was Cameron Hill who kicked the Blue Diamond Machinery goal of the day right at the back end of that last quarter. Our Archie's Player of the Day, and look, they get a good pair of the Archie's thongs or slides, and Johnny Douglas, he's whipped out a big pair of the slides, and that's a good thing as well, because it's going to go to the ruckman there in Daniel Henderson. Goose, he's been absolutely sensational all day, led the ruck well, kicked a goal as well, and probably one of the reasons why Bullcreek Leeming have come out victors today. So congratulations to Daniel Henderson, number 25 for Bullcreek Leeming. He'll sit there and roll away with a pair of Archie's slides or thongs as our Player of the Day as well. Thank you so much to all our sponsors. Once again, Retrovision, AFCRI, Blue Diamond Machinery, Lobster Shack, Filming Footy, and Dartfish. It has been an absolute pleasure being down here for our Classic Clashes game today. Thank you to Bailey, thank you to Johnny Douglas. Appreciate your time as always, and thank you for everyone for listening in once again. We'll leave it right there. Try and stay warm, stay out of the weather, and we'll see you next time back at the footy. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.